It's Friday.
Yay.
Happy Friday.
Ah, welcome to another episode of What's for Growth Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Courtney.
Oh, I threw you guys off
You did.
because I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
Yes.
Just
But
a little subtle change makes such a big difference in the flow of our introduction. How about that?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, at first I was like, oh, we didn't plan this. It's whatever. Whatever. It's a Freestyle Friday.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. It's Freestyle Friday. That means anything can happen. Comment below. Join the conversation. Tell us what's on your mind, and we'll be more than happy to talk about any topics that may come up.
Yes.
Well, let's catch up. What's the biggest thing right now going on? Michelle's wall.
Yes.
My wall.
It looks
What's going
good.
on with Michelle at Podcast Central at the Martini household?
It has been a lot of trial and error, but I'm getting there. And so I got this pour painting behind me. I'm going to move the camera. Got an oval in the back to put my logo on at some point pretty soon. And I designed my logo yesterday in Adobe Illustrator, which I've never used until yesterday. And so I learned a lot yesterday. It was really fun. I love learning new technology. But yeah, just trying to put some color in my world. And those are all my colors. So
Yeah. I
I'll
like
be
it.
right
I love
back,
that.
guys.
Okay. I love that you put it up, but it's still, you don't have it all complete yet, but you went ahead and put it up. And I love
Yeah.
that. So
a work in
yeah.
progress.
Yes, absolutely. I agree,
Thanks,
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yes. So I think, I don't know, Ricardo and tech issues, we'll see, but it's Freestyle Friday. So maybe, is that what you meant by Freestyle Friday?
All
You're
right,
going to
here we
abandon
go.
us?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we wrapped up the wall.
We
Thank
did.
you, Bill, for telling me that you can't hear me. Chit-chatted about the wall, dropped out, came back on. Now you can hear
And
me.
here we are.
And now
Yes.
you're moved.
Well, how does
You're-
it feel sitting down? Okay, so to do Friday podcast, how does it feel with your new wall, or how does it feel when you go into your office now?
It feels
That's
awesome.
good.
It feels so good. I love the color. I love it's bright, and I love, like you said, that you love that I put it up there unfinished. I love that too, because of course Ricardo says I love everything. I use that word a lot.
Which is
But
okay.
We'll
It's-
allow it.
It's fun to watch it transform, and even though it's not finished yet, to go ahead and start using it, it's fun to know that, like, what it's going to be, to have
Yeah.
that vision of
That
what
is
it's going to
beautiful.
be. Thanks, Jesse.
Over here at my household, I got a new office chair and I decided to go without arms. So it's an armless chair. And to be perfectly honest, guys, my biggest concern was I was going to fall out of my chair in the middle of a live. Like, whoa.
Hey, I've recently switched to an armless chair, and you know what's funny? Okay, so I wanted an office chair about a month ago, started looking, and I wanted a pink office chair, and I had a certain vision, and anyway, turns out I was looking at hairdresser chairs for decor. But so decluttering, I realized I had a pink chair hiding. So just lessons in decluttering. You really could have, like, I knew I had it. I forgot about it. But anyway, there I was about to buy a pink chair. So I'm really proud of you. Haven't fallen out of your chair.
Let's
Yeah.
see here. Jessica, don't fall now. Wouldn't that be something if I just fell out of my chair? The biggest thing, though, I realized I use the arms on the chair when I stand up out of it, which that's the only thing. And every once in a while, I'll catch myself doing this, but it's just going to be getting used to.
Yeah.
Jessica, I promise I won't fall. That's why I'm standing very still.
Yes. Yeah. Good morning to Jessie. Just that. How's Jessie's walks going? She upped the ante, didn't she?
She did to
She's
5
motivating
miles.
me to. I'm about to commit to something, Jessie.
So
Mhm.
yesterday I replaced my wireless router because our internet was getting kind of slow with everybody working from home. And when I mean everybody, I mean virtual school, Jesse working from home, me working from home, everybody working from home, right? And I
And in
didn't
basket
realize,
season.
yeah, I didn't realize how much stuff we had hooked up to our wireless router. I didn't realize, like, TV stopped working, light bulbs start working, Alexa stopped working, computers stopped working, plugs stopped working, all sorts of stuff stopped working.
I can
And
only
it occurred
imagine
to
if
me
you're-
that How much stuff are we connected to that we're dependent on? How much stuff are we connected to that we're dependent on? That if it's not working, that we don't function properly?
That's a great question.
Or the reverse. How many things are connected to us
That are not
that we
serving us.
think don't function properly unless we're involved?
Ooh.
That requires some thought.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't have an
It does.
immediate answer for you, but those are both very good.
A lot of lessons there from just replacing a wireless router.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our phones, Miguel
yeah.
Romero, our
Yeah.
phones, we're connected to
Yes.
our phones. That's a good one. That
I
we
think if-
think we can't we think we can't operate properly without our phones.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do everything on my phone now. And if I lost my phone, I would be
Be careful with your words.
I would feel like I lost an arm until I got it replaced.
Well, that's still pretty bad. Even after I warned you to be careful with that language. Yeah. So see, that's interesting that we think that way.
Mhm.
We're
That's
dependent.
interesting.
We're dependent on a
connected.
lot of things, even if they're not serving us.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
mind you, 20 years ago, we wouldn't be so dependent on it.
No, we would have
Not
argued
even 20 years
against it.
ago.
We would have told you you're silly. What, you have a miniature computer in your pocket you stare at all day? Get a life. Like we would have said, it's just the way the perspective shifts over the years. It's interesting.
Remember
what-
when the funnest thing you could do on your phone was play Snake?
When Tetris came out on the
Yeah,
little
you're like,
Nokias.
that's like the only thing you could do on your phone.
An
No screens, no
interesting
nothing.
spin on the dependence on phones is parenting, which Ricardo, Courtney and Ricardo, y'all haven't experienced this yet because you haven't had teenagers yet. But I almost would, when my kids were learning to drive and going out and hanging out with friends, you worry so much. But when, I had a cell phone whenever my kids were teenagers, and they did, and even now. And I feel like I worry more than maybe my parents did because they couldn't call, I didn't have a phone when I was in high school. And so you worry more when you can't get a hold of them. And so it just increases that stress as a parent over what I think maybe it used to be, because if I haven't heard from them or they're not answering their phone, then I worry. Whereas back in the day, you wouldn't.
That is true.
Yeah,
There
you
wouldn't be an issue.
be home by dark or whatever.
So the
rule
worry
was,
comes in because you have a direct line to them.
Mhm.
And when that direct line wasn't there was no reason to worry.
Right.
Here's one
But-
right here. Bill, Google. How did people do their jobs before Google?
No
Great
kidding.
question.
Mhm. But it's a great. Okay, so I just want to point out an observation. So the purpose of, on the surface, you think, okay, get my teen a cell phone. Absolutely, I'm more connected. They have it for school, for this, for a job, whatever. I can reach them anytime. So the base of it is a very protective, parent, great parent, stay connected, keep an eye on their child. However, exactly what Michelle's saying. So it can look good. It can look good. But if you marinate on it all the time, it's not doing good things for you. And it's not doing good things for your child either. Because, they've done studies on children feel fear. They feel the same emotions as their parents, even if they're on different sides of the world. Am I remembering that study right? They, sorry, always dropping studies. I haven't have the specifics on, but they did a study where they sent both parents to different places in the world, and then the child was in a different country with their grandparents. But basically, both the mother and father, they did extreme tests on for trauma, stress type stress tests. I guess let's sum it up. But the child had a reaction in their body in a different country at the exact moment.
Wow.
So it goes with any parent, but your child feels what you feel by the logically. So your mood is really important.
It
You
is.
staying calm and you staying, in control more than just the fear and worrying. But That's my point. Is it can look good on the surface because the main reason you did that was a good reason. However, if you're obsessed with it, is that working in your favor? No, it's not, and it's dispersing around you energetically. So just
Real
check.
Yeah.
quick, let's go back to Miguel Romero. I'm glad I have my phone. I am listening and seeing. I'm seeing and listening to you. It's a blessing. It is a blessing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
where's the line crossed from a blessing to a dependency? A dependency that you can't live without.
You don't need it. You don't need it. If you feel like you need it, you don't.
Wow.
It's kind of that double-edged sword. When that feeling starts budding, red flag.
It's that attachment. You got to learn to detach from things. You know, we have so much emotional attachment to things, and they are good, like you said. Like cell phones are awesome. They make things so much more efficient. Or Google, like Bill said yesterday, I literally downloaded software, learned how to use it, created a logo all in one day because of Google and YouTube. And so I was able to do something that would have taken, a week to figure out. I was able to do it in a day. And so it's awesome. But whenever you're so dependent on it and it creates stress in your life, then, too much of a good thing is not good.
Right. Yeah. Like when we research bad things for 10 hours straight,
Mm-hmm.
you know it. You learned it in the
Yep.
first 10 minutes. Okay. Stop
Yeah.
feeding those fearful, negative. We all have emotions about the state of the world. We all do. But there's a difference between obsessing over it and just checking the news, so it just figure out where you are on the scale. That's it.
Yep.
So here's one that I just thought about when Michelle and the Google conversation came up. Are you using the resources that you have fully? Are we
That is
using our phones and our internet connections to the full potential to better ourselves? So Michelle, you have the resources, but you could have just as easily gone to Fiverr. You could have hired somebody, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, without even trying to do it.
Yeah.
But you got resourceful with the resources that you have available to you. Google, YouTube, and everything, found the video, downloaded the software, and boom.
I even learned how to do a perfect oval on my paintings to leave the space for. I literally learned how to do that.
I
on
like that you're
Google.
saying learned. I like that you said
Yeah.
learned. Yeah, I like that you said
It's
learned
fun to
because you didn't
learn.
know it before, and now you
Right.
do, which means that you learned it. So are
Yeah.
we using everything to our fullest potential? Are we using the resources that we have to their fullest potential?
I do find that I don't do that a lot because I know there's so many things, capabilities that certain software or even my TV. I've had my TV for 6 years, I think, and it's a really cool TV, but I really don't know how to use it. I know there's so many things I could probably be enjoying with it, but I haven't ever figured out what all it does.
Why not?
I guess it just hasn't been a priority.
Because it meets the needs she is
Yeah.
attached to it for.
Mhm.
That's why.
Right.
Which is watching TV.
Which if she were to go buy, I don't know. I don't picture this Michelle being like, I need to upgrade my TV without yours actually breaking. But like if she were to end up at the store comparing like, should I keep my one I have now or should I do this? You would then be motivated to be like, maybe I should break out maybe I should Google the manual for that model. And, so sometimes a lot of like seeking new resources sends us back to be like, wait a minute, my chair example. I almost spent $100 on a pink chair.
Yeah.
I had one, so it's just silly, but yeah, no, I love that. What do you have that you can go back and read the manual for, or turn that metaphor into
or figure it out?
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you have that's very useful that you're underutilizing?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what we can figure out with the tools that we have available to us today.
Correct.
I have figured out how to install a thermostat, figured out how to draw a perfect oval, figured out how to work software. Even if I'm cooking something and I'm like, I don't know how long to cook this or whatever, you can just you can figure almost anything out these days really quickly.
What about
Yeah.
instead of spending hours and hours on Facebook, which is ironic because we're on Facebook right now,
Yeah.
but except for when you're
Isn't it
tuning into our
ironic?
show, yeah, Bobby.
Yeah.
Or you can go to portforgirls.com and download the audio podcast or subscribe to our YouTube channel. But back to my point, instead of spending hours and hours on social media, learn something.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
herbalism. I'm an herbalist now. I figured out it was a hobby. I dove deep. I really like the skincare side of it is what made me fall in love with herbalism. But it's trickled, and then fast forward 5 years, I'm an actual herbalist with actual ideas and plans and lessons I want to share. And I've learned how to intuitively figure out things myself in that realm. But learning. Like, just are you that fascinated about it that you can get obsessive with it? And like,
That's a big one.
I love new
Mhm.
information, but
Comment
I didn't
below.
always.
Comment below. What's that one thing that you're like, I should really learn that. I should really look into that. I should really blah, 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 blah that. And then pop up youtube.com, put whatever that is, and find a video.
It's almost like we don't have legitimate excuses anymore, because you can
Ooh.
pretty much learn how to do anything. If you find something you're passionate about, like Courtney, even though it was a hobby, it can lead to so much more if you just give the things that light your heart on fire, give them a little bit of attention and feed those, because those are the things that make life fun.
Yeah, and I want to say one thing, but Michelle, will you repeat that first line you said when you started that? About excuses.
Oh,
So-
it's like it diminishes our excuses because we
Yeah.
have so many resources available now.
So I thought that was worth repeating. So thank you. But yeah, it's actually jumping in, even though you don't need to have a plan with it. You don't need to make money off it. You don't need to this. You don't even need to know step 2. Just, oh, I enjoy that. I want to learn more about that, and find those things, because your actual passions align with that. And exactly what Michelle said, you don't have to do it all in one day. You just have to make time and space for it. I'll give an example. I wanted to film something between 8 and 9 today. And that I've laid out my perfect day. I Legoed last night. I was like, oh yeah. And it didn't happen, but I did sit down for 30 minutes. I was able to work and actually write out the outline for the next one and make my notes make sense to me. And, so time and space, that's what stacks, is when you give something time and space, it has a chance to grow. Whereas if you just give it one day and then tell yourself you're a failure for every new venture you try, you're going to be validated every time, because your definition you're giving to all of this and the meaning you're applying is just really unhealthy. But if nobody's ever told you stop and look at where are your feet? Michelle's favorite, be where your feet are. But where are your feet right now? Just stop and, in your goals, and have that thought process with yourself. But time and space, give it time and space. Like, what that means is, if you want a new car, but maybe you don't have room in your garage, like all the bays are filled up and you're using it as storage right now, clean out a bay for your new car. You maybe don't have the money yet, or maybe you're saving for the down payment or working on your credit, whatever. But the point is, you're giving things time and space. That's actually how you manifest stuff. If you want to talk woo-woo terms, that is actually how God sends you new opportunities, if you want to talk in Christianity terms. So it's all the same concept. It just has thousands of ways to explain it. But
I like how you said new opportunities, not new stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't really agree. I don't align with the whole, let me manifest a new car, let me manifest material things. I don't really dig that, because I don't
And
think
a
you
lot
can
of
just
it,
manifest stuff by thinking about it like that.
Yeah, they don't, because if you're wanting something desperately that's outside of you, some material thing, okay, so if you want a new car, chances are you're probably talking crap to yourself about your current car. If you don't appreciate your current car, you're not going to manifest a new one. It's a simple formula, you guys. So it's Michelle putting the picture up before it's done. I love that. I love it.
The lessons of manifesting a new car from Courtney.
Car.
How to
The
manifest a
supercar
new
girl.
car. I think
Yes.
that I love the topic of manifesting, and I've read a lot about that, and I've literally lived that in my life the last 2 years, because you truly can manifest the life that you desire, and I believe that that's God's will. That's participating. God gave us will, and it's participating in. And like I said earlier, the things that light your heart on fire, there's a reason that those desires are in you. But to me, it's not the physical things. Like, I would love to have a Tesla someday because I think it's a really cool car and it would be super fun to drive. But it's not because I want the Tesla. It's because it's a really cool car and would be super fun to drive. I want the fun, right? And so it's emotions that we want, not so manifesting is manifesting the things that make you happy, bring you joy, give you peace. It's those emotions that we're seeking, not the things. And when we can start to learn to recognize that, that's when things just start to come and things start to flow. It's really fun.
Don't ignore it. Don't ignore those feelings. Don't ignore
Everything you're looking for is actually just a feeling you're seeking.
It is.
Everything.
It's just a feeling. We don't care about cars, houses, and everything. Yes, it's nice, but we want to feel that we earned it. We want to feel that we're successful, whatever that may be for you.
And contribution, like Tony talks about, that's like one of the ultimate basic needs
It's
is
a golden
the need for
ticket.
contribution. Miguel's comments, thank you very much for saying that. But it is, he says, influence others in a positive way. Michelle, Courtney, and Ricardo, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you. But
We
that is,
appreciate it.
it's just influencing others in a positive way. That is the ultimate. It's fulfilling, and it's a much more fun way to live life.
It's start a ripple. Now, I learned that term from Sean Murphy, so I'm not sure if that is a Sean Murphy, but start a ripple. Just start a ripple. So not some grand change the world in 48 hours thing you need to do. It's just starting a ripple.
That's
It.
awesome.
Contribution is the key. And speaking of contribution, man, I feel like a cheesy plug. Like
No,
it's like,
It's perfect.
the
It's
cheesy
perfect.
plug is coming in. Speaking of contribution, November, I can't even say it.
We didn't plan it. November 21st, 2020. And that's our Baskets for Good. And we are feeding 200 families for a week. And I'm going to let Ricardo have you compose yourself.
Visit basketsforgood.org to donate or volunteer.
Yes. Yes.
I can't even.
You definitely want to get involved.
I can't even do like a cheesy sales pitch plug without a straight face. I couldn't stop laughing. Oh man!
Because it was too perfect to just be random out of Michelle's mouth.
Thank you, Jesse. Yes, Baskets for Good. Basketsforgood.org. Volunteer, donate. We're looking for sponsors and all that kind of good stuff.
Hey,
Yes.
Tammy. I have to say hi to Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Thank you for listening.
Any relation to Darren Hardy?
No, I don't. Well, not that I know of. I don't know.
Oh man,
Tammy, you'll have to answer that question.
Yeah.
yeah, she's probably like, "What? I might have to look into that." Right?
Thank
No.
you for posting that website, Jesse. Yes. You can go to our website. She put it in the comments. And there, just check out the website. It's amazing.
Oh, she says no. She is not related to Darren Hardy. Good.
Does he still do his Darren Dailies?
I think he does.
Okay.
It's all email.
If Darren Daly's doing anything 2020, let us know how you're liking it. If you're subscribed.
If you're subscribed. Okay, so hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. I wonder what he's up to.
He
Well,
didn't fall out of his chair, so
that is, I know. See, we worry about things. He worried about, he's not here. So for like a week, he worried about falling out of his chair. He's about to hear us now.
I'm doing the one thing that I hate the most is making unnecessary noise on the podcast. Okay. So here we go. The medical medium, clean. I don't even know how to.
Clean.
the cameras are backwards.
Clean to heal.
Ends to heal.
We're giving this book away, guys. Comment below, yes, if you're interested on winning this book, shipped directly to your house. Comment below, say yes, exclamation, exclamation, if you're interested in this book. Look at how big this thing is. So we got a couple of versions of it already, so we decided to go ahead and give away the physical version there. And here's how this is going to work. Share this video with your takeaway and do hashtag Force for Growth. So share the video and post your takeaway and do hashtag Force for Growth. We'll see it, and then you'll be entered to win the book. And we'll send it directly to your house. And we'll be looking for the post. We'll comment. We'll appreciate the shares. So just share this video with the hashtag. What is it?
Force for Growth.
Yes,
Force for Growth.
with your takeaway.
With your
With your
takeaway. Yes. So we're going to run this for a couple of weeks. So not just for like a weekend or anything like that, but for a couple of weeks. And we'll pick a winner from all the shares. The more that you
Check
share.
your hashtag real quick, Ricardo.
Force for Force.
Which that could be a great concept too. But this one's Force for Growth. Hashtag Force for Growth.
Don't you love live TV?
Yes. Thank you, Jesse. So what is one thing you've learned from that book? I know y'all been learning a lot, but what's one that you've learned from Cleanse to Heal that you really appreciate?
It didn't scare Jessie. She comes home because she listens to it for her walk. So it's got to start with Jessie. And she's telling me about all the chemicals in the air and all these things and all the things about the liver and all these other things going on. So I would have to get her on to give the exact takeaways, but I'm just telling her, just do whatever it is that you're going to do. And I'll just follow along.
Yeah, there's her comment. It's scary.
But you know what? Don't let okay. Babe, we're trying to give away the book. We want people to want the book. Telling them that the book is scary is counterproductive to what we're trying to do. So we're going to run this for a couple of weeks. When the medium Cleanse to Heal, hashtag Force for Growth, share the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of skincare tips in that book too.
Here's one other thing. For those of you who are not interested in the health book, you'll get to choose between that book and Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Let's do that.
That's good.
So you get to choose one or the other.
Yes.
Sound good?
Yes, that sounds awesome.
Because I just realized maybe people are not interested in the Cleanse to Heal book, but who couldn't use a copy of Think and Grow Rich? Another copy of
or they're scared of it.
A great book on Ricardo's desk.
Yeah.
There's always some. Just kidding.
So final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, just go for it. Make time and space and go for it. Happy Friday.
Michelle, it's so weird being like on the far right side today. I don't know how I like this.
Going back to the discussion on manifesting, pay attention to why you want things, because it's really the emotions you're seeking. And sometimes you don't need that. Well, pretty much always, you don't need that thing to create the emotions. So that joy and fulfillment is available to us right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my lesson with replacing my internet router this week, what are you connected to? What are you connected to that you think you're dependent on? And are you really dependent on it? Or reverse it. What's connected to you that you think is dependent on you? Woo. Yeah. You hear what I said there? That you think is dependent on you. Is that really true? Think about that. Explore that in your life. And remember, share this video. Hashtag
Force for Growth.
Hashtag Force for Growth for a chance to win the medical medium Cleanse to Heal or Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Boom. We'll be running this for a couple of weeks, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to enter, but the more that you share, the more entries that you will get. Ha ha ha.
Yes. Love it.
I get so proud of myself when I do a good pitch. I'm like, yes, I nailed that.
You should be.
Yeah, I'm like, boom, mic drop. Either way, remember to subscribe to the podcast, forceforgrowth.com, and Baskets for Good is November 21st. Like, share, and donate. Go visit the website, guys.
And even if, our audio listeners, if you would be kind enough to pop over to YouTube and hit subscribe, even if you're not going to watch it that way, or our YouTubers, if you will pop over to the audio-only platforms and subscribe there, that would be a great help. So I learned that the other day and I was like, okay, good to
Thank-
know. Wow, we're months
Michelle.
into a podcast.
Michelle, you always inspire me to think deeper about life. Thank you for tuning in,
Aw.
Corey.
Thank you, Corey. Love you.
We agree.
We agree. We love you, Corey. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll be back on Monday with
The word of the week.
the word of the week. Have a great weekend, everybody.